On to the lipids. All of the big organic molecules that have biological functions that are hydrophobic, we have a tendency to lump together. Therefore, the lipids are a heterogeneous group, or they're all really different in structure and molecular formula. The way you can recognize them is there's not a whole lot of oxygen in them, not a whole lot of nitrogen. They're mainly hydrocarbons. They do have a few oxygens in there. Their functions within the cell are energy storage. Fats contain calories. They're also structure. The membranes of cells are made up of lipids. You want to keep the outside out and the inside in. And also communication in the form of hormones in multicellular organisms. Now let's talk about the major groups of lipids. You have your simple lipids. Now, lipids have a tendency to be ridiculously huge molecules. So let's look at a simple lipid. Now we've got this molecule here, which is a glycerol. It's actually an alcohol. Look at all of those hydrocarbons. All of those hydroxyl groups. That makes this molecule very hydrophilic. Now you take this fatty acid, it's got an acid on one end, and it's got this big long hydrocarbon. Now this is a good opportunity to discuss the idea of being amphipathic. That's where a molecule has two different characteristics on both ends. So a fatty acid is hydrophilic on the acidic end, hydrophobic on the rest of it. This becomes important later when we talk about cell membranes. So we remove a hydroxyl group from the acid portion of the fatty acid, we remove an H from the glycerol, and we hook it together. Now, what kind of reaction is this where we remove a water? That's right, it's a dehydration. Requires energy. So we do this same process and we add more fatty acids. Now this one has a kink in it because we have a double bond here. Because there's a double bond, this carbon has 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds. This carbon has 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds. So it's missing a hydrogen. Gives it a kink. Now, this fatty acid is considered saturated. It's saturated with hydrogens, has as many hydrogens as it can have. This one down below is also a saturated fatty acid. Here it's an unsaturated, because we could put 2 more hydrogens there. Now this is the difference between saturated fats and unsaturated fats. Saturated fats would have all saturated fatty acids. Unsaturated fats have a tendency to have a fatty acid that doesn't have all the hydrogens that it can have. Now, in nutrition, there's been a lot of debate between the health benefits of saturated fats versus unsaturated fats. Now you understand, at least molecularly, what they're talking about. Now let's talk about complex lipids. So we take this particular lipid is a triglyceride. Okay, we've got a glyceride here, tri for the 3 fatty acids. And if we were, now this diagram has it tipped on its side, so we have a glycerol here, we've got 2 fatty acids, one of them's got a kink in it, it's got its little legs sticking out there, but instead of having another fatty acid here, we've added a phosphate group and some other stuff. Okay, so this molecule is really amphipathic. Once we cover up these acids, we take these acid groups, hook them to the glycerol. This molecule is not hydrophilic at all. It's very hydrophobic. This molecule, because of the phosphate group, because of the acid group on one end, this end of the molecule is hydrophilic. It can interact with water. This part of the molecule is hydrophobic. We talk about cell membranes. This becomes very important. This is a phospholipid. It's got the lipid on this part, phosphate on this part. This makes it a complex lipid because it's not completely hydrophobic. On to the steroids. Now, all steroids have this shape. They have 4 rings hooked together in this shape. You have 3 6-carbon rings and 1 5-carbon ring, and then you stick all sorts of fun stuff on it. This happens to be cholesterol. Cholesterol is vitally important for the health and maintenance of your cell membranes. It's not so good coating your arteries. That's why they generally tell you to watch how much cholesterol you're eating, and also they will check your blood to see how much is floating around in it. We want it in the cell membranes. We don't want it floating around in the blood. Now, steroids in multicellular organisms also show up as hormones, how your body communicates with itself. Okay. But for the purposes of this class, we're mainly going to be talking about their functions within the cell membrane.